What's up, mofos? It's another episode of World 1-1 Podcast. I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me, as always, is Eddie Half Naked B.
Hello, everybody. Happy 4th of July. It's hot, and yes, I am halfway naked, and I love my body.
Yeah, it is. It is too fucking hot, dude. This weekend was just the start of the inevitable heat death of the universe.
I was just like, oh, it rained. Hey, joy. It did its shit. Screw it.
Then you found out it only rained for 10 minutes, and it just made it more fucking humid and miserable.
Exactly. I'm just like, oh, dang nabbit, you stole it away from us.
Some fucking bullshit, but so let's jump in here because I've got a short list, but I want to do a deep dive on it. But Eddie, what have you been playing?
So I've been playing Breath of the Wild, Ice Cream Surfer, Just Shapes and Beats.
Did you finish Shapes and Beats yet?
Not yet.
No,
not yet.
Finish it.
No, I have do because I'm
Did
in.
you get to my favorite one yet, though? Did you get to Close to Me?
Not yet.
Oh my god, that song is so good.
I need to. I already told the designers, the developers, that I need that soundtrack. Like literally, I need a physical of the soundtrack, and he hasn't hit me.
Some of that soundtrack is like 4 or 5 years old at least.
But see, that's the thing about it. It's just like all the music that's in this game sounds brand new. Sounds like they just created it for this game. Cause like none of the DJs that's on there I know about. So all of this music, I'm just like, this is good. And I was just like, I need the soundtrack to this.
Like, no lie, dude. I looked up some of those individual songs, and some of them are like 4, 5, 6 years old at least. Oh. Not even kidding. Including my favorite one on there is like 5, 6 years old.
Well, it sounds like, I don't know if it's been remastered or whatever, but it sounds crystal clear. Like, it's just brand new. Like, it doesn't even sound dated. So
no, it's good, but I mean, any good musician can, put together something that sounds good then and still sounds good now.
Well, I mean, it still can still sound good in the past and now, but I'm just like, when you got good engineers who could make it sound like that good, classic, like timeless, then yeah, I agree. But I still want the soundtrack.
Yeah. How far in are you on that, by the way?
I am still at the one part that I talked about, where I got to get the
with the sailboat.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I ended up jumping into some other stuff. Everything it's just when it drops in, because like me and you talked about Hollow Knight. We'll get into that later. Like, I'm not picking it up. I'm happy to, but I'm just like I'm just like you, waiting for a physical. And I don't want to jump. I don't want to get it digitally if there's going to be a physical version. If nothing physically gets announced, I'm going to say by December, or even by Black Friday, I'll pick it up then digitally.
Yeah.
But I'm just hoping on a physical for that. Picked up Battle Chef Brigade. Ended up playing that. That game is fun. Just dabbled in a little bit of it. Played Far Cry 5 on Xbox One. Been playing Mad Max on PS4. Been trying to get that finished for my backlog. And then started playing Battlefield Hardlines for Xbox One. I'll probably finish that hopefully by Sunday. That's part of my backlog for the summer. So I'm trying to get done with that game. But I think here and there I'll jump into Just Shaping Beats and some of the other stuff. I've been playing a lot of Switch, just jumping around into games. But I know once I get back into Just Shaping Beats, it's going to be like, okay, 5 hours have passed of me doing these 3 levels. So, but I'm going to get back into it. We'll talk about it. I also played Meteos, on my 2DS and, the Nintendo Golf Club, the games that you got.
True Swing.
Yeah, True Swing.
Dude, we got to back up a second because we're just hard talking fucking, games with awesome music. Can we take a minute to appreciate how goddamn awesome the soundtrack to Meteos is?
Yes.
That game has some baller ass music, dude. Like, no lie, I remember when that came out. That's been like almost 10 years now,
Yeah.
if not longer, actually. And no lie, dude, I would seriously just like turn on my DS and just let the music run off of that game because it was awesome.
Yeah.
Also, there's one stage that I found that you could actually, if you were just trying to rack up more medios to spend in the store or in the shop there,
Mm-hmm.
there is one stage that once you get to it, if you find a way to basically just jam your down button so that it keeps rapid dropping everything,
Yeah.
it will basically just run in perpetuity. You don't have to touch anything. It'll go for hours by itself.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
So there's a helpful little secret for you when you're trying to unlock everything.
Because that's
You just
Mizuguchi.
turn it on and leave it run overnight.
Right, because that's Mizuguchi. That's Q Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, designers
Same
of...
guys that did that just dropped this week. Looney's Remastered.
Yeah.
Go buy it.
I didn't pick it up yet. I
don't know why I bought it already because I still haven't put Hollow Knight down.
A lot of people haven't. So, Luminous, I'm waiting to, I'm waiting a little bit, probably to August to pick it up. Due to the fact that like Captain Toe, about to say Captain Planet, Captain Toe and Octopath Traveler about to drop next week, and I want to get pick those up. And then like Luminous and like Luminous, Dead Cells, Hollow Knight, Okami HD, like all of those are like guaranteed games that I'm going to get. Dead Cells is a day one. And I'm probably by the time I get paid next week, I'm probably going. I'm thinking.
That reminds me, by the way, an update to the last time we talked.
Mm-hmm.
You can now go to Best Buy and pre-order Dead Cells. Finally, it's up in their system.
Oh, they brought it back.
Yeah,
okay.
I was there just this past week, and it was finally there. So I got my copy pre-ordered.
Did you ask them why they took it down after their announcement?
Nope. No, the people at my Best Buy are kind of just clueless when it comes to that shit. Like, I also don't like the fact that half the time if I want to pre-order something, like, they'll have it on their fucking website, but I can't pre-order it in the store.
Well, it's weird because they announced that it was available
for pre-order. They use some stupid third-party company to run their website, so a lot of times shit will show up on their website before you can order it in the damn store.
Was that the time when they announced that the pre-orders was at Best Buy? Because they was first to announce it before Dead Cells was
remember.
Before even Dead Cells even was saying they was getting a physical release, Best Buy like announced it first that they was doing physical copies. So I was thinking when they announced it that you could go into the store or you could do it online, like just pre-sales were available right then and there.
No, like I found this out. I remember when I went to pre-order my copy of Octopath Traveler, I found that out because I couldn't pre-order in the store, but it's up on their website, and I had to pre-order it from their damn website. So that was kind of hot garbage, and that pissed me off. But yeah, one of the guys there was telling me that apparently like some third-party company runs their website, and a lot of times shit will go up on the website before it ever gets to their in-store POS. So
I wonder if they
useless fact of the day.
I wonder if they made a mistake then.
No idea. So, but yeah, that's an update for you since we kind of talked a little bit at length about that last time, and I won't droll on about that too long. So we kind of beat that to death.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what I've been playing. I am going to be getting back into a lot of games. I think right now, just like Mad Max and like Battlefield Hardlines, because I'm trying to have them at least done so I can move on, because like after I'm done with those two games, it's like I'm doing Assassin's Creed 3 on my Wii U and Breath of the Wild on my Switch. So I'll be jumping back and forth between those two systems because I'm trying to have like at least a lot of this backlog stuff done by August. So I could talk about it later on in that month. But yeah, that's what I've been playing because I know once I get Dead Cells, it's gonna be like, I can't put this game down. It's gonna be hard jumping between Dead Cells, Okami HD. If I haven't finished Octopath Traveler, that's a problem. Cut the Toe, I'm not really worried about because all I got to do is just do probably like the new Odyssey levels and then finish like the third section of the game because I beat half of the game on Wii U already, so I know what to do with most of the puzzles. It's just like the new ones, like the Odyssey stuff is going to be entertaining for me. But yeah.
So, like I briefly mentioned, I have not been able to put down Hollow Knight. This Jesus, this game has me just like by the balls. This is probably one of the deepest, most challenging Metroidvania games I have ever gotten my mitts on. And that says something because if it's anywhere in that genre, I've probably fucking played it. And very, very few of them have I ever left unfinished. I never got around to finishing Guacamelee. That's kind of on my list of shame. But
I need to go through that and get everything to get the. I beat it for original ending, but I got to get all like 100% it to get the true ending.
Right. I haven't finished Yoku's Island Express yet. I haven't heard. Not that I'm aware of at this point, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I know 2 is coming. I know 2 is going to be on PSN, and then it'll probably hit everybody else. But I'm shocked that the Super Turbo has it because I would get it on Switch for the Super.
But the other one I haven't finished that falls in that genre is Yoku's Island Express, and that's only because I put it down to play Hollow Knight. But I'm telling you, man, Hollow Knight is hands down like one of the meatiest 2D Metroidvania games out there. Yeah, period.
A lot of people have been going back to it on Twitter. That's been like the hottest Switch game of talk.
Well, and the thing is too, most Metroidvania games will take you 10, maybe 12 hours to make your first playthrough. Even if you're not doing 100% and you're just kind of running your way through, figuring it all out for the first time. Dude, I am damn near I'm like 30 hours deep into Hollow Knight, and I'm still not done. And I know for a fact the game can be done faster. I know this, but it's got a number of things working for it. Some of it I think is just padding in terms of time-wise, and namely the difficulty. Like, don't get me wrong, it took me a little while to really get on board with how fucking hard Hollow Knight is. And if anybody tells you, no, it's not hard, you tell them, go fuck yourself.
Well, they say it's like the Dark Souls of Metroidvania games.
Yeah, no, it really is.
Well, I think is it because that I think whatever sort or whatever basic attack you start with, you keep that throughout the whole game. Like it doesn't never like with Metroid with Samus, you evolve your gun, but it feels like with this game you really don't do that.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna get a few more things to help you out in terms of combat as far as attacks go. Like there's the nail arts, which one of them gives you like a super slash, and one of them gives you a spin slash. And there's a dash slash, but for the most part, your sword swipe is going to be your fucking sword swipe the whole damn game. There's some other things that'll modify your nail as you go along, like the long nail charms and a couple of others. But really, most of your customization, your modification, is going to come through the charms, which can only be rotated out at the save points. So you kind of got to plow ahead, and you'll suddenly find yourself in a situation where you're like, well, fuck, this loadout isn't working for me, and then you'll either hoof it back to the last save point you could get to, or you'll get your ass kicked and just sent back there. At which point you kind of know what you're about to run up against, and then
Yeah.
you'll change your loadout to suit the occasion. Which, no lie, one of my favorites that worked way better than it should have. I was having some issues on one of the boss fights, and I won't spoil it, but I hit on the brilliant idea that I basically just made a bunch of passive aggressive loadout, and so when I went into the boss fight, I basically stuck myself up in the upper corner on the wall for the whole fight, and my charms were spawning little weaverlings and little grubber flies that would just go and attack for me, so I didn't have to get off the wall.
Wow. And it worked?
It did. I mean, it took a minute because it was just little bits of chip damage, but it worked. I hid up in the corner on the wall pretty much the whole fucking fight and just let them do the work for me. Like, fuck this, I'm staying out of the way. Because this boss was way too fast to be able to heal in the middle of combat.
Yeah.
And I was just taking too much damage, so I'm like, nah, I got a better idea. Let's try this.
Kind of reminds me of Strider in a sense.
So.
Where, and if people want to say Strider as in like the remake, that's fine. Where your basic attack is like a melee attack, and it just never changes. But you got other stuff that helps you, makes it better.
Yeah.
Or to make the fight easier. So that's what I'm thinking of when it comes to Hollow Knight.
You know what occurs to me? Because I mean, there's a lot of comparisons to it being a Soul style Metroidvania, but I tell you the one that I haven't really heard that I think kind of hits the mark here even better for Hollow Knight is it's got a lot of Mega Man in its DNA. It really does. So hear me out.
Well, I'm gonna hear you. I'm gonna hear you out. I think I probably need to see more to confirm it. But yeah, go ahead.
So, Hollow Knight has just a major Mega Man feel to it in regards to the fact in a couple ways. One, Hollow Knight is it's at least equal parts, if not more so, not just about combat and dealing damage, than it is damage avoidance.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot about learning your maneuverability and enemy and boss movement patterns so that you can dodge the damage, because you are most Metroidvania games in a lot of cases you're kind of a fucking tank. You can take tons of damage. No, not Hollow Knight. You start the game out with like 5 health. You can take 5 hits at most. That's it. And it doesn't get much higher by the end of the game, no matter what you do. And so it's really in big part a lot about damage avoidance. It's also got a lot of that very kind of twitchy platforming going on, very much akin to Mega Man in that respect. So it's just parts of it kind of give me that Mega Man vibe, but in a prettier setting. So,
I would say by the sounds of that would be a more difficult with Mega Man, because I think Mega Man is not so much as precise. I think it's just like, where do you see the pattern and what do you need to do to avoid it? Because sometimes sometimes Mega Man, depending on which game you play, changes up the formula. And if you say Mega Man, well, 1 and 2, I could probably see that happening. 2 being the most difficult one, and that's more precise. But you say Mega Man 3, well, that's the slide. If you say like Mega Man X and stuff, well, that's the climbing and that's the air dash and the stuff like that. So I think it kind of depends on which Mega Man, because I think to make that like I said, I have to play the game, and probably see it for myself. Because I would probably say, if we're speaking about Mega Man, we got to figure out which Mega Man it is.
Look, it's very simple, guys. Green Mega Man goes with red Mega Man and yellow Mega Man to make the Ultra Mega Mega Man.
I'm talking like early Mega Man, original NES Mega Man.
Right, and that's why I said like 1 and 2. Like, and 2 would be like the hardest, where you
could even venture into like 3 or 4.
Well, see, 3 is easier. I think 3 is easy, along with the slide.
It might be easier, but it still doesn't change the basic foundation of the series.
Oh, well, let's see, and that's questionable. Changing the fact of the series of, for me personally, I'm thinking of, because of the bosses, the way that it's laid out, they kind of split it, and people for me personally, I don't know why. It's just like, you could do 5 bosses who attacks fit each other, but none of those attacks fit the other 3 bosses, because the other 3 bosses fit each other, take off more damage. But because I barely used to slide in in Mega Man 3 for boss attacks.
Right. But yeah, that's one of those things that's kind of been rattling around in my head. But again, like I said, I do feel like, in part, the game time is kind of padded a little by the difficulty. Now, I will say there are some things, though, that really beef up this game in terms of scope compared to other games in the genre that aren't really padding. Like, straight up, this game has a fucking enormous map. I mean, it's big. Remind me, I will send you just a quick snap of the game map, and you're just going to look at it like, damn. Because it's huge. Like, this game is big enough, by the end of the game, you will have 3 forms of fast travel.
Wow.
It's huge. You've got one that's pretty readily accessible from the get-go. There's one that comes mid-game that opens up some 1 or 2 new sections that you just couldn't get to before. And there's a third that lets you basically drop a fast travel point anywhere and haul yourself off to it from anywhere else on the map.
Do they tell a story throughout some parts of the game? Like,
oh, this game is all kinds of story, dude. Like, it's got seriously deep lore. Like, no lie, I'm probably gonna have to play this multiple times to really wrap my head around it, because my first playthrough has been so focused on just the gameplay and the experience and the environment and the atmosphere and just making it through the game front to back.
I wonder if the story pieces are most of the backtracking.
Well, there are quite a few characters in the game that have some substantial dialogue that actually kind of really lay out the story for you, and tell you what's going on. And I've been doing a little bit of reading and a little bit of watching on just some of the lore of Hollow Knight, and there is some really cool stuff if you dig into it. But there are things that, at a glance, are kind of abstract, and you have to really mentally challenge yourself to put it together to understand the real depth of it. And that's cool as shit to me, because this game, in terms of story and lore, has so many layers of depth that most games, let alone most Metroidvania games, simply do not.
Because it's more about the adventure than the story.
It is for me the first time through. This is one that I'm going to have to do a second playthrough that is just dedicated to focusing on the story rather than the architecture of the gameplay experience itself.
Which I think a New Game Plus would benefit something like this.
Yeah, but a New Game Plus, I honestly think would break this game.
I mean, not so much break it. I think the New Game Plus will help give you the story more, not easier acquire more of the story. Because you'll be
I can
able.
see that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out in my head what parts you would keep in a New Game Plus and what parts need to be reset. Because that's a real hard part. Like, do you get to keep all of your charms and all of your health? There's obviously some mobility things that would have to go in order to play it through again. It's just
I say anything that you missed in your first playthrough, when you go back there a second time, now you can, you'll be ready to get it. You could think of getting it. Just stuff that you missed, I think. Because there are some games that do it. I got to think of which game does that. That if you collect a lot of the stuff the first time, when you do a New Game Plus, the stuff that you found you got to keep, and they won't reappear in that same area. But the stuff that you didn't get is just still there.
That's a hard thing to do with a Metroidvania, though, when you think about it.
Well, that's if you're not. That's not if you're doing 100% of a run on the first time.
I don't know. New Game Plus is a fan of the genre. Just is one of those things that those two things don't go together for me in my head. But that's could just be me. But yeah, it is so meaty. Like, one of the other things that this game does to kind of bulk it up time-wise is the fact that this game puts you on edge in such a way, like it there is really no point where this game feels like it lets up in terms of pressure. And so you'll find yourself a lot of times kind of wanting to re-explore and kind of really pick apart places and areas that you've already been, that you kind of have already learned for the most part, so that you don't have to explore into new areas, because those areas become super challenging and oppressive in a number of ways. And so, like, you have to press forward, but this game really just mentally pushes back against that feeling, and it makes you not want to. It makes you kind of go, fuck, I've run out of everything else to do. I have to go into this area. And every time you get into a new area, you just get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, like, I'm fucked. Fuck. So, which is really cool because, like I said, it really makes you dig deep and hard and pay super close attention in those areas that you've been looking for, all the little nooks and crannies and hidden things. So you're more prone to find a lot of that stuff that you wouldn't otherwise, because you feel mentally kind of trapped there for fear of not wanting to go into new areas. And honestly, I think another big part of that just has to do with the way the mapping in this game works. So, because this game does not just autofill a map as you go along. No. Well, not only do you have to buy it, this is a multi-step process. This is like a great big fuck you. Yes, you have to buy your maps for each individual section, which also involves, before you can buy the map, you gotta find the cartographer, Cornifer, first in every goddamn section in order to buy the map. Then, on top of that, the map you buy is incomplete. And to fill the map out, you've got to go buy your pen so that you can sit there and, fill the map out as you go along, except it doesn't work that way. You'll start venturing into uncharted territory, but your map doesn't update until you hit a save point. So a lot of times you're going to push a little ways into a section and then pull back as fast as you can to the last save point you hit to fill out your map kind of little by little, because you don't want to go any deeper than you have to without any kind of lifeline back to the way you came.
Did they ever explain why they did that? I don't know if they ever did an interview and talked about that.
I don't know, but it's one of those things that, like I said, it makes it super oppressive, and so really any progress that you make, you'll make that progress in inches, not miles, because of that. And I like that because it simultaneously pisses me off, but I really do actually like it because it makes you kind of very cautious. It's a lot of kind of sticking your head around the corner all the time going, Is it safe? Is it safe?
Well,
and
I think some people
hit
might.
a couple sections of the game that are just like, holy shit, fuck you, this is bull crap.
A lot of people might feel like that's pandering. That's too much backtrack. That's too much work. Where,
it would be if it wasn't for the fact the farming helps.
Well, that might be true. I don't know. I think it's just like you guys.
There's nothing stopping you from really plowing it through.
Well, I think, but for the map thing, it's just like, why did you make something simple very complicated just to make the game longer? Some people might think, that they might feel like that's kind of backwards and cheating out that you really didn't design this well or think this through. So maybe if they do a Hollow Knight 2, they can really make that system simple. I think they probably could have changed it, but I think due to the fact that they were trying to get this console port and with all the team that they had to work with, they probably didn't have time to like fix that or implement that in.
Right.
Just saying, because some people might just be like, well, this game who probably had the same development time and same resources just like you guys, they were able to make something easier, and you guys just complicated for no apparent reason.
Yeah. But, and I don't think it's more complicated for no apparent reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think it lends to the feel and the atmosphere that the game has made. Any other Metroidvania game, this shit would be insufferable and fucking unacceptable. For Hollow Knight, it works. I genuinely am not upset about it.
I feel like
in the grand scheme, this works for me.
I think if they would have had a map thing, I think some people would be like, why are you interested to make this like a 2D 10 level kind of brawler or action platform kind of game? If the map system was going to be complicated as that, I should say.
Like I said, I'm not hurt about it.
Well, a lot of people are not talking about the map thing, so a lot of people are enjoying it.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Additionally, if by chance anyone at Team Cherry is listening, I adore Hollow Knight, and I want to talk directly to the person that did the level design for the White Palace. Go fuck yourself. Fuck you. The White Palace is fucking bullshit.
It's hard.
Oh my god.
It's hard, or is it confusing?
No, it's hard. Like, White Palace took Super Meat Boy and threw it on fucking steroids.
Yikes.
Yeah. White Palace is Super Meat Boy with goddamn roid rage. It is bullshit.
I'm assuming tricky jumps and dashes and platforming.
And lots of fucking buzzsaws. Like, nowhere else in the game is there fucking buzzsaws. The White Palace has all of them.
I'm assuming that's the last place. It sounds like
it's not even the last place.
It was halfway through the game? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's most of the way through the game, but it's still fucking horseshit.
Wow.
So, that's a thing. But yeah, overall, God, I just
250,000 sales. So
I know, and climbing. Oh, and I don't think we hit on this because if I remember right, this was like a day after we talked last time. But Team Chariot and AMA did say there's a physical version coming.
Well, they said they were thinking about it, but
No, they said they were working on it.
did they actually confirm it? Because I know they were just like they were thinking about it. I think the cell numbers wasn't. I think the cell numbers wasn't released yet. Because they were just they were talking about that. You know, it did 1/3 of PC. It didn't. I think like that following week or like last week. They announced that they did 250,000. They mentioned a physical copy, but it wasn't nothing in writing, like they had confirmed it. So it might be different story reports and stuff. But if they do a physical, hopefully it don't take long for them, like they did all of these trying to port it and delay it and stuff.
Right.
Because I think a lot of people would definitely want this game, which I actually wonder, with a game like Hollow Knight, was the delay and everything worth it for people to get it on Switch?
Yes. Absolutely, without hesitation, yes.
Because I'm just like, if they did 250,000 in 3 days or within a week from the game being released at E3, I don't even think they got that many sales that quick on PC at regular price.
Yeah, I mean it's just so good. But yeah, it's a super dense game. That's the other thing that I think honestly a lot of Metroidvanias miss. And even in fact, like the actual Metroid games, I'm hard pressed to think of a Metroid game that is really anywhere near as dense as Hollow Knight is. This is an absolute genre pinnacle, without a doubt.
I think Metroid itself never tried to be dense, because I think it has always been about the adventure and getting your character strong. You know, Samus losing her power. You know, they have a formula, and they know how to go about that. Because if they would have changed Metroid to play at something like Hollow Knight, I think that would destroy the foundation of the series of Metroid. And
don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not saying I want a Metroid game to be this dense, but it's nice having a game in the genre that is this packed, because there's so much meat to pick off the bones here. I've spent, seriously, it's been like 2 weeks now, and this is damn near the only game I've played for like 2 weeks. Because A, it's that good, and B, there's that much to it.
Well, that's kind of the open world kind of formula.
And it's not an open world. Well, Metroidvania isn't open world, and nor should it be, by the way, before you try and pull that shit.
Open world as in a sense that there's so many side missions and stuff to make your character powerful, because that's just how my Mad Max is for me. Is that they got all of this open world, but they got all these little points and stuff that's not part of the story, but if I want to make my character stronger, or, you know, make my progress easier, I have to go and kind of do this. And it's just like this big map with all of these points and stuff that I have to do. So if that's how Hollow Knight is, even though it's in a Metroidvania style game, that they got all these points and stuff, and it helps you in order to progress through the game, then I can understand the density of it and the depth of it.
But in any case, I'm going to quit rambling on Hollow Knight, because I could go on forever. That being said, before we get into news, I think here's a great place to take a break. So I'm going to say, unless you got anything else you want to throw on the pile before we do this.
Nope.
Sweet. Break. And welcome back. So this is the second half of the show. We're going to start getting into some news and rumors and all kinds of nonsense. So I actually just before we started, I scrolled across something I really wanted to hit on because this has been a big hang up for me for like probably close to 2 years now, damn near the whole time we've done this show. There there's now a rumor just starting to circulate with a little bit of evidence behind it. Nothing definitive, but word has it that Turtle Rock may be working on Left 4 Dead 3.
And they said they weren't. Yeah. So
they had postings that they were hiring for people to work on a well-known franchise.
But it wasn't. But it's not Left 4 Dead 3. They already said it. It's for a new IP.
Yeah, but then why would you put out a posting to hire people to work on a established franchise?
I think because it to grab people attention, and people who probably when they get hired and they talk about it, they'll probably figure out, well, do you know about this franchise? Because if they was going to do Left 4 Dead 3, it would already been done. You know, they wouldn't make that game, and they would Left 4 Dead 3 would have already been done if 1 and 2 had been that very successful.
I don't think so, and I'm going to fill in the blank here as to why. Hear me out. It's only been recent, within the last few months, 4 or 5 months, that Valve has been talking about actually getting back to putting out games again.
Yeah.
And since Valve holds the rights to Left 4 Dead, they could be talking to Turtle Rock saying, all right, we'll open this back up again. You make it, we'll put it out. Because Turtle Rock was formerly, like, what was it, Valve South, I think it was? And
probably.
So Turtle Rock could be staying as a separate studio, but Valve may have tapped them to develop and Valve publish.
I think they would have already did it. I think, well, Valve being idiots who they are, I'm just going to put it out there. With the success of Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, and then just dropping out because Steam is making you money, but then that having problems, it feels like just because you name a studio who worked on a popular franchise doesn't actually hint that they're going to be making something new. Because if Valve would announce that they're making games, you know, just like do a big production of it and publicity of it, I think Left 4 Dead 3 would have already been the first game that they announced. They wouldn't wait to announce that they're back into making games and then don't say nothing. It's just out the blue. The developers who made one of the games that was that's known now is hint that they're gonna make that. Why would you make? My thing would be, why would you make Left 4 Dead 3 and not Half-Life 3? I think people would care more for Valve to do Half-Life 3 than they would for Left 4 Dead 3.
I don't know. I think they could get Left 4 Dead 3 done before they could ever get Half-Life 3 done.
I think then Left 4 Dead 3 should have already been done before they actually went out of business. Not went out of business, before they Valve start publishing games.
Maybe Valve decided it's just time to get its shit back together and get the engine running again.
I wouldn't. Probably.
I'm not banking on it, but part of me can't help but kind of look at it and go, the pieces fit. I'm not saying it's definitive. It's circumstantial as shit, but it's a possibility.
I just wouldn't put it up to say that, you know, a company who made something like that they're getting people to make a part 3 after probably 7-8 years, or whenever Left 4 Dead 2 came out, because that was like the last one was like 360.
Yeah.
So I think if Valve would have came together, and because they announced, was it some VR card game that they announced?
Yeah.
And I don't even think that materialized yet. And everybody got left
it's
down
still
about that.
cooking. I mean, I think they've shown a little bit of it, but it's not out yet.
Okay. So to have to get back into games and to lead with Left 4 Dead 3, I think that's still it would be exciting, but I think that's a big disappointment on Valve. They got to do Half-Life 3. If Turtle Rock was doing Half-Life 3, I could see that happening. If they was doing an existing IP, I would put Half-Life 3 first, so we could just hurry up and satisfy the fans, make our money, and then do Half-Life 3. I mean, then do Left 4 Dead 3.
Part of me hopes, though, that if Valve was going to go back and finally do Half-Life 3, that it's not a rush job. Like, at this point, I'm almost convinced that if they were going to do Half-Life 3, that they would have to go back and start from scratch on it.
I think what would happen is I think they would do Episode 3 and then go into Half-Life 3. Because they need to finish the Half-Life 2 episodes. They need to finish that.
Granted, they do.
And I think the Episode 3 would show off like their new engine, or show off some ideas that they think they're going to use, and then if it works, they'll implement in Half-Life 3 and they're approved from there. Because I think Half-Life 3, if they ever did it, like Turtle Rock ever did it, I think it's not going to be out till 21 or 22. If this Left 4 Dead thing is being made, it's not going to be out until 21. But they really going to have to catch up with the times and really make this game accessible. It has to live up to the hype, because if it doesn't, just because them doing it doesn't mean that the game is not going to be great.
Yeah, that's a thing rolling around. So it's something to kind of keep in mind that it's by no means anything definitive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's being talked about. The door is open. I'll put it that way.
I wonder when will Valve allow them to show anything?
It's probably going to be at least a year minimum,
like next year.
Considering they're apparently just starting to hire.
Hmm. Well, we shall see. I wonder when and where Valve will show it. Like, how are they going to plan to attend next year's E3, Gamescom, PAX, the PC gaming show next year at E3? Like, I wonder when will Valve show something or attend something.
Right.
So we shall see. We literally shall see. And also, I wonder if they're going to do console, or is it just going to be for Steam players only, or if it's PC only.
I don't know. My gut says that Steam first and then consoles.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my gut tells me. So, but I don't know.
Yeah, because they wouldn't make Portal. They're not designed to make anything like that.
Right, and that's definitely not in their alley. But
right. So, well, we shall see. It's going to be interesting. So, what else you got? What other interesting news?
Honestly, the biggest thing that I've kind of been itching for is I want that Hollow Knight physical version. That news made me happy. Like, I want it to come with some awesome, like, tattered cloth map kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That feels like it would be perfect. And I don't know, maybe put like a nail in the box. That'd be beautiful. I'd love that. I want a tattered cloth map and a nail sword.
I wonder. Well, hopefully the limited run games don't touch it. I hope this is a game that's going to come out to stores that people could go in and buy. Because it'll probably be, I think, $30 it would be. I don't think $40 would be justifiable for a game like that. If they don't include, like, an instruction booklet, trinkets, or, like, a reverse cover or something like that. Like, if they're going to do a $40 thing for that game, they need to put some stuff in that instead of just a box and cartridge.
Right.
So, which is kind of proven to a lot of indie developers that it feels like they're making so much money off of it that it's allowing them to be able to make physical copies of that game, and that would even sell them more copies of it.
Yeah. I honestly think that there needs to be like a magic number where if a digital only game hits a certain number of downloads, that it's automatically getting a physical copy.
I think like 200,000, maybe no, not 200,000. That's a little bit high. I'd probably say maybe 100,000 copies. At regular price is a good sign. Now that it actually depends on if they're releasing it on other consoles also.
Right.
But if they're just doing a Switch version, I would probably say like 100,000 copies because that's a lot of money.
That's what I'm talking about is on Switch. I'm just like, look, if you can push this many copies of something out, digital only on Switch, then Nintendo says we will we'll put together a physical version for you. Bam.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it makes it. I think a lot of developers get surprised that when they put it on all three consoles, they get surprised that they do well more on Switch than the other two combined, or even with PC. Because it's just like when a game has been on PC longer than Switch, and then Switch just like take headlines and you sell that quickly, it kind of says something about your game that people been waiting for on Switch, that it was going to give you guaranteed sales.
Right.
So there's been a lot of success stories. Owlboy is getting physical.
Oh, it's already got. I've got it.
Oh, it's out?
Yeah, it's been out for like a month. I had been waiting to play Owlboy because I knew ahead of time that it was getting a hard copy, so I didn't buy it digital. Because if I knew ahead of time, I was just going to wait. I wasn't going to double dip if I didn't have to. So,
well, I think I don't know if that physical copy got like a release date or anything. Like, if anyone did it.
They said it was coming like a month or two after the digital. So,
and then
I knew ahead of time I was going to be waiting for like an extra month or two.
Okay.
But so I was kind of sitting there pins and needles. That's another one too that once I finish with Hollow Knight, that's probably going to be the one that I go back to, honestly, because I need to finish that up. Because it took me some time, but Owlboy really did finally grab me. So, and it's just so pretty. Oh my god! Like, pro tip for anybody that's thinking about playing Owlboy or starts to play Owlboy. Do not play it in handheld mode. Don't get me wrong. It runs fine in handheld mode. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. But goddamn, play this thing on your big screen TV because it is just gorgeous. Handheld mode, you will miss so much beautiful little finite detail that's in there. Owlboy gave me this magical, nostalgic feeling. Like, remember when you got a truly great, gorgeous, brand new Super Nintendo game?
Yes.
And you went home and you popped it on the big screen for the first time, which at the time was like you're lucky if you had a 32-inch TV in the house kind of thing, because it was old school CRT and these things took up like half the fucking room.
Dude, I'll shoot. Dude, playing Metroid Fusion on my GameCube. Dude, on the TV. That gave me life, dude. I was just like, goodness gracious.
Yeah. But no, Owlboy just visually is packed with so much beautiful little detail that it should be played on the big screen. Plain and simple. But that being said, those were really kind of the big things. The other one, too, that's kind of almost a non-story story is the fact that the new Nintendo president has stated that they've got more games to announce for the fall lineup yet that they have not shown or talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So for anybody that feels that the back half of 2018 for Switch feels a little anemic, hold your horses. There is apparently more coming. They just haven't.
It's already packed. Like, ever since May, Switch and there's probably some 2DS game, 3DS games that's also coming that haven't been talked about. From May until December, Switch is packed with stuff to play.
Yeah.
No,
don't get me wrong. It's just you kind of didn't get that feeling coming off of their E3 presentation,
which everybody knows that it's Nintendo. They got Nintendo Directs E3 for them. It's year round now.
Right. Every couple months, get something.
And they focus on stuff that Smash is a big thing for them because they want to focus on stuff that's coming out this year. Everybody else, yeah, they had a better presentation. They have games coming, yay! But all of that stuff is not to 2019. And then you have to fight you gotta really make budget plans pretty much for January, February of 2019. At least with Switch, you could pinpoint what you're going to buy. Dead Cells, Octopath Traveler, Captain Toad, Smash Brothers, Pokemon, and then we still got games like The Messenger. We still got stuff from last year's Indie Direct that haven't came out yet.
Yeah, I still have no goddamn King of Cards. This is bullshit. I want King of Cards already.
Oh,
make that happen.
They have to do. It's now to a point now when they show the next Nintendo Direct. Not only do they have to show that, they have to announce the physical. It's a done deal right now.
You remember from when we talked with Yacht Club, they did say that once King of Cards was out, they'd be putting out a physical version.
Yeah,
that had all the content. That was literally the only thing they were waiting on.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. I know I'm going to end up for Shovel Knight. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be my 5th time buying Shovel Knight. Damn it!
Wii U, 3DS?
I first bought it on 3DS.
You got it on PC, right?
Nope, I got it on 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
Bought it on Wii U. Then I bought the hard copy on Wii U. Then I bought it on my Switch. And then I'm going to buy a hard copy for my Switch. That's 5 fucking copies of Shovel Knight.
Shoot, I'm surprised that you don't even own it on Xbox just to play the Battletoads version.
I've considered it. I've given it thought.
Don't give it thought. You waited for a good sale.
Don't get me wrong. If it goes on sale and it's a decent price, I'll snap that shit up real quick.
Is it still $19.99?
I think so. I haven't seen Shovel Knight on sale on Xbox at any point yet.
Sure, I haven't seen it on sale for a good while. I think most of the sales has been on Nintendo platforms.
Yeah. So. Oh! I almost forgot. I got to take this back to what we've been playing for a minute here because there's one thing I wanted to talk. I wanted to hear from you on, but I did forget there was something else I actually have been playing a little bit of off and on, just in short spurts. But I do really kind of love it. It's what is it? Unmechanical Extended Edition, I think it is, on my Xbox One. It feels a little like Machinarium blended with Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. It's got that Machinarium kind of look to it, except a little bit darker, maybe a little bit grimier, a little less dry visually. But then it's still got that same kind of super cute charm to it the Machinarium does. But your character kind of floats through everything a lot like in Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. So, but it's a fairly laid back, simplistic puzzle game. It's one of those that you'll stretch your brain just enough to be comfortable and feel slightly accomplished without wanting to put your head through a wall. It's
some decent.
It's like the super casual point and click almost, and I'm super okay with that.
Is it a adventure game or is it? You said puzzle, but is it trial and error kind of puzzle or?
No, they're basic logic puzzles, and I do mean they are basic, but
Okay.
it's got just the right level of quirk to make up for the fact that the puzzles aren't super advanced. And part of me kind of likes the fact that I can play a puzzle game that isn't just going to, like, objectively intend to melt my fucking brain.
I'm about to look at it. I'm gonna have to.
Oh,
look at video.
that reminds me, and I'll get back to the other thing that I wanted to hear from you on. But just so my kind of my stream of consciousness is happening here. I want to give a major shout out to the dudes that did Thimbleweed Park, because I got my copy in the mail like a week or two ago, and I just opened it up.
Switch Physical?
From Limited Run, which that's my first actual Limited Run game, finally. But I've got...
Which, I have a question.
I've got one more order that I'm still waiting on.
Which I have a question. Are they doing a retail release? Because they showed the... I didn't know they was doing a physical until I seen a picture.
Yeah.
But I didn't know Limited Run was doing one. Because I don't know if they advertised it.
Ago.
See, I didn't know that Limited Run was doing one. I thought when I seen the picture that it was also coming to retail, or it was coming to retail.
So here's the deal with Limited Run games, and if you haven't, I really do recommend check out their E3 presentation, because there's actually some really good info in there. But they talked about, and this might have been from like their pre-show video that they put up.
Yeah.
Which I really liked, actually.
I gotta still try to find it. I didn't go back and look for it. I thought it would be.
Go find it.
I'll have to watch it on YouTube.
But in any case, one of the things they said though is that, with Limited Run, they do a limited, just like the name says, they do a limited number of copies and that's it. However, after they've put their run out and they're out of print, they release the rights back so that if somebody else wants to publish, just straight publish and put it on retail shelves, they can. Limited Run doesn't objectively retain the rights, the publishing rights to a game. Once they put out their small batch, that's it. Limited Run says, hands off, we're done. It's up for grabs again.
But didn't they say, didn't one game get a second run print?
It may have. There may have been like a super high demand, but it would be very uncommon for Limited Run to do that,
because it's I think the thing with Limited Run games is that I think it's kind of unfair, on a sense that they really don't give you time to do.
They do though.
The thing about it is they don't really give you time to do a pre-order, because yes, the games are limited, but people who might not have the money to pre-order that game, they're out of luck. And I guess it just feels like they announced where pre-orders are up, because they announced it, probably within an hour or two, all of those are gone. It might be that because it's a limited run, I think they don't tell how many copies that they have that they're going to be printing.
Yeah, they do. So here's the thing, because I've actually started kind of digging into Limited Run a little more, because there's a couple more things coming from them that I'm really looking forward to, but we'll get back to that. So, Limited Run tells you how many copies they're printing in the batch. 2, if you pay attention, you've got to watch their Twitter or their website.
Yeah.
But they will tell you when pre-orders are going to go live. They will give you sufficient advance notice. 3, they put up pre-orders for those batches in 2 parts, because they know that this is a global thing. So they put one batch up for pre-order at, say, for example, 10 in the morning that day.
Yeah.
And they only make half the batch available for that 10 a.m. pre-order. From there, 12 hours later, they put up the other half.
Do they also do a mailing list for it? Or they just do Twitter?
So. I think the biggest thing is watch their Twitter.
Twitter. Okay.
Seriously, watch their Twitter, watch their website. They'll tell you what's coming. They'll tell you when it goes live. They'll say, we're going to put up the first half of the batch at this time on this day, and the second half of the batch at this time on this day. So that way you know when to be paying attention. So even if one of those times falls into, like, when you're normally passed the hell out or sleeping or whatever you do, you know, or it's, like, cutting into your masturbation time, but you know when the other batch is going up, so you've got a fair shot at it no matter what.
You know what? I think I wish they would do, and I probably got to look at it because I'm assuming that 10,000 copies is their maximum. Is my assumption.
It's either 10 or 20.
10 or 20. Because I would like for them to do like 25,000 copies, like 5,000 copies a day, starting Monday through Friday. So people who do get paid, they'll be able, at least until that Friday, to be able to buy it. You know.
Well, and again, for me personally, I think they put out enough sufficient notice that you can have your money set aside.
Well, that is true.
So, you know, it's your responsibility. They give you plenty of notice. It's your responsibility to be ready when that shit goes up.
But sometimes I think, because I think today they said like Night Trap for Switch is available for pre-order, like right now. But I don't know if they actually had like a date planned for people to be ready that it was going live today, or at the time this is recorded, I should say.
Right. I don't know. I'm going to graze their website while we talk here, and actually here, as a matter of fact, let's see. Night Trap.
Cause for
yeah.
me.
So right now, Night Trap is not available for pre-order, but they do have up on their website that the pre-orders go live in like 2.5 days. Like there's a countdown right now telling you when the pre-order goes live.
Okay, so there is a countdown. Okay.
Right. So they Twitter out like constantly, hey, here's a reminder, coming up in a couple days, the pre-orders go live. And they do it frequently.
Okay.
Like my Twitter feed is littered with their stuff.
Yeah, I usually get like retweets from people showing that they're going to be doing a pre-order, or like Nintendo Life might send something up. Like I really don't do limited run games, only because it might be something that I already own on digital, or it might just be a game that I'm just like, they're not. It'll probably be something that I'll get later on down the line. So
yeah. Which, by the way, one you should keep an eye on. A personal favorite. On July 20th at 10 a.m. Eastern, pre-orders on limited run for Thumper on Switch goes live.
I'm shocked at that game.
And I'm looking at it, dude. That cover art is fucking hot.
Is it the black one? Is it, or did they?
Oh
or is
no, dude! It's the beetle running on the rail towards the giant fucking the mask monster.
Oh, it's a different. It's a different cover.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking sick.
Because usually it's isn't it like all black and then it's Thumper like in orange or something? Maybe
I'm gonna send you a link to this.
Yeah, maybe it's a different.
I'll drop a link in the description for the show too, so that anybody that wants to check it out can. But like I said, July 20th. So again, you've got like over half a month notice that this shit's coming. So it's not like it's just surprise, here it is. No, they do their due diligence. Like everything I've seen with limited run games is 100% on the fucking up and up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I give them mad props for that. Like major respect.
Yeah, I do too. It's just
check your chat feed there, by the way.
It just sucks that for me with limited run, I have already owned that physical copy, And if I've already done, not physical, digital copy, I mean, if I already did the digital, I'm not getting the physical. It's like in certain games, I'll double dip.
Yeah.
But with sometimes with limited run, it's just like, yeah, that should have got a physical already. Like Thumper should have already been a physical. Like there's no, it's been out on other platforms and even on Switch, and I think that game should have already got a physical.
Oh, I don't disagree, but props to Limited Run for stepping up and doing it.
Yeah.
So, that being said, do check that out. The other thing that I wanted to get back, I want to hear from you because you and I kind of had an argument about this shit a while back. I need to hear your thoughts here as to whether or not I'm going to have to kick your ass for being wrong. I want to hear what you think because you said you've been playing some of it. What do you think about True Swing Golf?
It's easier. It's easy. It's not too hard. I think because I was using my hand and not my stylus, I was too lazy to go to my car because I left my stylus in the car.
Oh, dude, that game needs to be played with the stylus. That's just the right way to do it.
It's good. It's fine. It's nothing bad. I think it made me want to play Golf Story more.
I get that. I really do because I remember when I was playing Golf Story, I couldn't help but think, fuck, I really want to play Golf Story, but I want to be able to swing with True Swing mechanics.
Yeah, True Swing is easier, because it's kind of just like a flick. You don't really have to really worry about angles and stuff like that because it's just like, okay, I can move over here and do it. I think it's because I'm doing single player. I'm not doing nothing like campaign or wise. I just okay, swipe. Yeah, okay, it's good. It's easier to play.
Tell me though that is not one of the most satisfying golf games ever, though.
Yeah, that is true. It is. I say it is. I think because it's so easy and it's so casual that you don't really have to work hard or really think about stuff. You can just swipe it and off you go. It's really easy. It's nothing complicated about that game.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean the interface is fantastic.
Yeah.
It is, to me, it's like the perfect game of golf.
Yeah.
So
it's right. What did we argue about?
You called bullshit on my claim that True Swing was the greatest golf game ever made.
Okay. And you know why?
You were on about fucking Mario Golf.
And you want to know why? Because I think True Swing and Mario Golf gets talked about more than True Swing, and I don't think.
Well, I know everything gets talked about more than True Swing.
Well, I think
it doesn't change the fact that True Swing is the better golf game.
I think the thing about it with True Swing is that A, I've never played it. B, I've never seen it in the stores, so it's just like out of 1 million people, you are the only one who completely knows about this game. So I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. It may be good, but when it comes to golf game here in America, Mario Golf and probably the one that Camelot did, I think for PlayStation, that kind of golf game.
Oh, the Hot Shots?
Hot Shots. I guess those are kind of well known. But when I played True Swing, I was just like, okay, I can see what Larry is getting at.
True Swing has the real magic, man. Telling you, no lie.
Yeah, but I am enjoying it.
So I just since you said you finally got to play some of it, I wanted to hear your thoughts on that. So, which also super cool thing, Eddie got the free European edition.
Right.
I told you what happened when I ordered that, didn't I?
Did they sent you the wrong one?
Yeah, so fun story here. I ordered a copy of True Swing Golf for dear homeboy Eddie, and to prove my point. And so I get my ass on Amazon and I order up, and it comes in the mail. And don't get me wrong, I could have just let it go. but I'm not gonna lie here. I played the asshole card. Um, they sent me the European version, which the European DS game cases are a little bit different. They're actually kind of nice. Like they're a little bit thicker than ours here.
They're murder weapons.
Yeah, they're a little meaty, and then they come in a clear plastic as well.
Yeah, I do like the clear. I do like them being in the clear cases.
Like named a little different. But in any case, so I get a hold of the seller on Amazon, and I'm like, "Hey, nowhere here. Actually, as a matter of fact, it said on his listing or on the listing that it was a North American copy of True Swing." I'm like, "This isn't a North American copy, dude. Not what I ordered." And the guy got back to me pretty quick. Like, big props to this dude. He's like, "You know what? My bad. Don't sweat it. I put your refund through." I'm like, "You want to give me an address to ship this thing back to?" He's like, "No, don't worry about it. Keep it." I'm like, cool. So, free game.
Blessings. Like I say, blessings.
So Eddie got the free European edition of True Swing, which has some slightly altered weird name.
Like Birdie something? Like True Birdie or something?
Yeah, it's something like that. But so I remember looking at it going, "Huh, that's weird. Oh well." But again, it's one of those things that it didn't really matter because the original DSs aren't region locked. So
right, I popped it in my 2DS. I'm like, "Yep, it's working." Ding.
Right. So, but yeah, that was hand delivered a couple weeks ago with the shrink wrap on and everything. So, but in any case, so yeah, I wanted a minute to kind of touch on that. I've kind of been dying to hear your thoughts there. But yeah, it's been a little on the quiet side Newsweek wise overall though. Personal news. I finally found one of the amiibos that I've been looking for. I finally found the Bowser Skylander amiibo.
By itself?
Yep.
I'm assuming GameStop. Or somebody was selling it by itself.
One of our local stores here, called Disc Replay. I managed to find it for like $5.
Well, that's not bad.
No. I also found a Pikachu amiibo that I was missing still, so I grabbed that while I was there too.
Is that Skylander amiibo? Is that just only for Skylanders?
No. So the Bowser and what was it? The Donkey Kong, I think was the other one that they did. Yeah. So they've got this little thing on the bottom that it's a little switch, so you kind of like twist the disc on the bottom, and it goes from reading as a Skylander to reading it as an amiibo.
But it's only the regular one. It's not the dark one.
No. It's wait. What do you mean the dark one?
There's a dark Bowser. They did a dark version of him for Skylanders.
Yeah, there was only like one Bowser for Skylanders.
There was two.
Was there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember there being two.
The dark one is like it's in a bigger box because I think it's black. And then the regular one is like they're like the regular looking Bowser, like with different colors. But there is a dark one because there was it was like it might have been a Toys R Us exclusive, but probably not. But there was like a dark version of it because you can only buy the dark version of King Koopa and that dark version of Skylanders for Switch. And because the boxes were bigger. I think they had it. I know it was Bowser and his car, and they were dark.
I'm looking here, and I'm only seeing one Bowser for Skylanders. It was Hammer Slam Bowser.
Then you're looking at the original one, but yeah, there was a dark one.
Oh no, you're right. I do see it.
But you got the original, so that's fine. The dark one is just. I think
so.
Yeah, the dark one is just. I think it's just a color thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at here. It's just a difference in color. So, but yeah, I finally found one of them. I was like, cool, that's mine for $5.
Heck yeah.
So, but in any case, but yeah, that's most of the exciting stuff. Was there anything you wanted to hit on that I didn't?
No, not really. It's kind of been like a kind of like a slow news day, today. So I'm
You mean week?
Well, because we're recording in the middle of the week, we got 4th of July in the middle of the week. So I don't know if people are going back to work like Thursday or Friday, and if stuff will be picking up on those days, or they taking the rest of the week off. But yeah, for like news bits and stuff like that, not too much. So I really don't have anything. I don't have anything to say until probably we get something probably by next week. Hopefully. Oh, actually, yeah, I had to talk to you about something. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here's an interesting tidbit that I just came across. Apparently, I'm seeing here that Amazon has added re-releases and remasters to the list of ineligible games for their 20% off when you pre-order. So, just one more reason to mourn the death of Best Buy's GCU. So, like, Amazon is really tightening it up.
Well, which I can understand because, is it re-releases of a like a remaster of a game, or is it like a second print of a new game that came out? Like
it says here specifically, pre-order savings offer does not apply to certain video game products such as Toys to Life, collector's editions, re-releases, remasters, and product bundles, including but not limited to console game bundles and accessory bundles.
Well,
that is specifically what it says.
So I'm assuming like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot won't
I would guess so, but that being said, just something to kind of keep an eye on. But in any case, we got to wrap up here. So we're going to call it for the day. As always, find us at our home on Shout Engine and iTunes and Google Play Music. And like I said, I'm kind of still working on a few other things to get going here. But that being said, thank you as always to everybody for tuning in and listening. Thank you to my co-host Eddie. Eddie, say goodnight.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
We'll see you next time on World 1-1.
Peace.